Welcome to iTalk. I am Chu Yao. Today, we're going to share articles from two Chinese scholars on the situation in Afghanistan, as well as the challenges it faced right after the U.S. withdrawal. The first article we'll be sharing today is from Ambassador Yu Hongjun. The U.S. ended the 20-year war in Afghanistan. How about the mess they left in the country? Ambassador Yu is the former Vice Minister of the International Department of the CPC Central Committee. He is also the former Chinese ambassador to Uzbekistan. The second article is from Dr. Wang Feng. What did the 20-year war leave for Afghanistan? Dr. Wang Feng is an Associate Research Fellow at Department of West Asia and Africa Studies, Graduate School of Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. With the U.S. troops being completely withdrawn from Afghanistan, the country is now embarking on a new chapter. Scholars and professionals worldwide have been paying close attention to the country and are worrying about the situation in Afghanistan after the war. Ambassador Yu Hongjun, as early as in April 2021, had comprehensively analyzed and predicted the situation in Afghanistan right after the U.S. initiated its withdrawal from the country. Ambassador Yu believes that the U.S. decision of withdrawing from Afghanistan was inevitable. It not only represents the U.S. significant adjustments in its global strategy, it also symbolizes that the U.S. had failed in conducting military operations in the country. Ambassador Yu further points out that, considering the multi-ethnic characteristics of Afghanistan and the fact that the long war had put the country in a complex situation, the U.S. withdrawal does not necessarily mean that Afghanistan, as the country which had lived through decades of war, would now be getting on the right track. After the U.S. and the NATO withdrawal, Afghanistan now faces the challenges in terms of politics, economy, and security aspects. Politically, Afghanistan would face the challenge of region restructuring. The prerequisite for the restructure of the region will be the political reconciliation between the Ghani government and the Taliban regime. Economically, the reconstruction in Afghanistan will be an extremely complicated, arduous, and long journey. It needs the help from international community. If assistance from the international society reduces or halts, it could be disastrous for Afghanistan, and could even do more harm to the country's peaceful reconciliation process. Security-wise, since the U.S. did not successfully fulfill its strategic goal of eradicating international terrorism, Afghanistan is still in a chaotic and turbulent state. In July 2021, Dr. Wang Feng also wrote about the situation in Afghanistan after the U.S. withdrawal and shared a similar viewpoint with Ambassador Yu. Dr. Wang believes that after the 20-year war, Afghanistan is a country full of conflicts and turbulence. In the past 2 decades, not only the Taliban has developed into a huge political and military organizations with tenacious capability in combat, there are also various extreme organizations active in Afghanistan. In addition, Dr. Wang suggests that Afghanistan was in fact a divided state. The U.S. and the Afghan government both were not able to effectively govern the whole territory of Afghanistan, and the former government was constantly in need of the protection from the U.S. and its Western allies. The Taliban controlled most of the territory in the southern regions of the country, had actually become a political counterpart of the Afghan former government. Furthermore, Dr. Wang points out that Afghanistan still is one of the least developed countries in the world. Afghanistan is a country which has a weak foundation in industry and agriculture, with no self-sufficiency in food, severely depends on external supports economically, or else its people will be suffering from stark poverty. The fundamental reason on why Afghanistan is still a turbulent, conflicted, divided, and poor country are mainly because of the hegemonism and militarism of the U.S. U.S. troops disregarded local religious and cultural traditions, violated the human rights of the Afghans, and forcefully pushed forward Western democracy without considering the economic, social, and cultural foundations of the country. Just as Ambassador Yu advocated in his interview, The UN and international community should consistently pay attention to the situation in Afghanistan after the US withdrawal, and should try the best to aid Afghanistan in tackling the challenges it faces, such as the humanitarian crisis, and facilitating peace and reconciliation in the country. That's all for today. Thank you for listening.